First, do no harm, you're not a doctor. You don't get diplomatic immunity. So, what was the motivation for repatriating the Nazi scientists in Project Paperclip? By whose authority? Sigmund Freud was a homosexual cocaine distributor and fugitive in exile. He pioneered the fluorine research used as the basis for the Nazis' field study during the Holocaust. The Nazis discovered that fluorine made the Jews dumb enough to participate in their own genocide, eat dinner, get some rest, do it again the next day. But the FBI was sitting on a tip from Fritz Tyson's arrest in France. As soon as the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, they froze Prescott Bush's Union Bank assets. Hitler had just begun the Blitzkrieg in France, and now his Panzerfaust was defunded, so they used toxic waste from the Luftwaffe, which can now be found in pill form under the trade name Prozac. Who is the KKK? The KKK are Protestants. It turns out the Islam works just as well with the Bible if you're not allowed to read it. You use it as a weapon and just go around and bludgeon people. Oh, you don't like that, do you? Good. As long as everybody hates it. But bankers are careful. They don't just steal money. There has to be some, a loophole. There has to be a gimmick, a justifiable reason. For the past 100 years, they've been spooling up Africa against homosexuals. They've got the third world dependent on our sins. Well, I was wrongly targeted. That could be useful if your objective is not to just replace Americans with, I don't mean to sound racist, but it's not racist if it's true. France cut the heads off everybody legally entitled to own a bank 3 times because they get, like anything, like anyone else, they get carried away from time to time. King Charles has journos going to darkest Africa talking about, I honestly believe I was just born that way, so they can sell little blonde kids. The United Nations is the Reich. Whenever flat Earth gains a foothold on the round side of the planet, historical pattern analysis, we call that the Reich. Fascism is heresy. Can you imagine if these faggots made King Charles the Pope? Well, at least he doesn't claim to be infallible. The Pope doesn't claim to be a general. MI6 led us astray, Your Majesty. They told us Al-Qaeda meant the list, not the leadership. And they neglected to mention that Anonymous was the name given to the gay mafia in the 17th century. How much faith do you put in your bankers and these idiot doctors? I wake up every morning and I spit trillions. So if your motivation is anything other than watching these little blind kids get raped by the mother continent, I have a lawsuit. It's all about forgiveness. mfrodeo.blogspot.com. First, do no harm. And then the hedges